Fishing the McDonald's Big Bass Splash. This is one of the biggest tournaments that happens on Rayburn. There's so many boats.
6 o'clock. It's 6
and I
o'clock.
almost didn't upload this video, and it's because we only fished the first day. We didn't finish it, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later. But right as daylight came, started off with top water, throwing a whopper plopper. I did not catch anything on this whopper plopper. I was confident in it though. I was hoping to get something. We worked our way down the bank, got to the end of this point. Once we make it down to the end of this point, it looked great. There's lots of hydrilla, lots of grass, and a pretty good ledge where it drops off from about 6 foot to about 10 to 15. And this grass line was everywhere, so I started throwing the A-rig, hoping to catch some. I also threw some big baits. I don't know if y'all watched Milliken Fishing's video, but you know, he's throwing glide baits and big swim baits. I threw some big swim baits too. I didn't have any luck with them. And I thought that this A-rig was going to murk them because there's actually shad that we could see coming up. So threw the A-rig for about 10 minutes with no luck. I even switched A-rigs to one that had some blades on there, give it a little bit more flash to it, looked like a bigger school. Again, no luck on the A-rig, but I was confident in it, so I kept throwing it.
Okay, there's some grass out there.
You can see some of that grass that came up. And this is actually where I start seeing some shad.
Look, look, look. Shad. Shad.
After seeing the shad, I threw the A-rig for about 10 more minutes. Then I gave up on the A-rig and I went ahead and switched to my favorite bait, a jerkbait. And I'm throwing the Yozuri suspending jerkbait. Within 5 minutes of throwing the jerkbait, I end up hooking up with a small bass. So the Big Bass Splash is pretty unique, so you don't necessarily have to catch the biggest fish to win some money. They have the biggest fish per hour. Also, the first fish that weighs 3, 4, or 5 on the dot, that's a $5,000 fish. So even a 3-pound fish can be a big deal out here. It just has to be 3 pounds on the dot. And the hourly is where you can get money too, because it could be the biggest fish per hour. Every hour they give out money. Biggest fish per hour is $2,500 bucks.
But that's a fish. Skunk's out of the boat.
Huh?
So the skunk's out of the boat. He's with Guggen Squad, and he just met up with him, and they're going to redesign a bunch of jerk baits and make new jerk baits.
So I'm just throwing that jerk bait out there right along the grass line. Now that grass sticks up really tall. It's big, long hydrilla. And anytime my jerk bait would catch the grass, I'd just give it some vertical rips, rip it through the grass, keep going. Had many fish that, you know, swiped at it, and I hook up with a pretty decent sized one. Unfortunately, it comes off right here.
Oh! No, he came off!
That
That was like a 3-pounder.
Huh?
That was like a 3-pounder.
Pretty much on the very next cast, I hook up again. So the fish were out here, there just wasn't much size to them.
Come on. It's a small one. It's a small one. My favorite bait. Huh? This is a big jerkbait. It's a 3-hook one.
No, I'm talking about big bass.
I know. That may even be a spot. That one that came off was double size of that one.
We stayed in this area for about another 20 minutes before we headed off to the next spot. It was just so hard to figure out what these fish wanted and not to be surrounded by, 10 other people, because there are so many boats on the water. Anytime the big bass splash happens, there's just so many people that it's hard to find spots where you're not just encased with boats. Some places you can literally walk across the boats, they're so close to each other. Same thing on this spot, we found the grass. The grass is where they were at. Anytime we found grass, we found fish.
Whoa! All the bait fish that just jumped up when I reeled this in. I'm talking about a ton of bait fish.
Doing the same thing with that jerkbait. Anytime I run into the grass and get caught, I start vertical ripping it just to get it through those grass. It's pretty deep in this area. It's 6 to 10 foot, but the grass sticks up almost all the way to the surface. That hydraulic grows really long. And then boom, we find more bait fish. You see them jumping around. If the bait's there, you know the fish are there.
Look, look, look. See him? See him? Dang, they're all over. I'm just high sticking it to keep it off the bottom. Keep it out of that thick grass. It could be. Oh, it's a good one. That's decent. Not good, but it's a decent one. Ugh. Moving up. We're moving up. We're moving up in the world. Ow, bit me. I'm gonna let it go because I have to open the batteries. It said batteries included. I didn't know they were wrapped in plastic. Oh, right there. That was two different fish. That's what I'm saying. No, there was two bass on the bait fish. Throw that way. Oh, got another one. Oh, got another one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Flip it in. Oh, that's a good one. That's almost 3 on the dot. It's 3.02. That's close enough that I would say.
Check your other one.
Is there live well full?
Yeah, but you need to check the other one.
Other what?
The other.
Scale?
Yeah.
I need to open the batteries. But I'm just saying keep it because it's close to exactly 3.
So I weighed this fish on 2 different scales. The eye bobber scale said 3.02, super close to 3 on the dot. And then I weighed it on the Guggen scale, which was 3.08. So didn't know which one was more accurate. Might as well turn it in, see if you can get that 3 on the dot, hopefully get some money.
Going pretty good. All right.
All right, sir, I'll take your weigh ticket.
Let's go 300.
I'm hoping.
You got your GoPro on?
Yes, sir.
Let's make it happen. Come on. Come on.
You can see here the Guggen squad was dead on, so their scale's pretty accurate. Now let me get into the reason we didn't finish. This is the sad part. So my grandfather, a couple days before this happened, we kind of knew things were coming to an end, and as soon as we left this tournament, we rushed up to the hospital to go see him. We'd been going every day, and we pretty much knew he wasn't going to make it through the weekend, so we decided not to finish the tournament. Stayed up there almost every day. My dad stayed the night there every day, and I would come up there every day. And it's just sad to see it come to an end. He was a World War II veteran, avid hunter and fisherman. Grew up catching so many catfish with him. He loved to run trot lines. That was his big thing, running trot lines, catching fish, and then frying them up for the family. He was always family orientated, loved to bring the grandkids out in the boat, catch fish, and cook them up for us. So a lot of my time in the woods and on the water was spent with him. Every day I got out of school, I got dropped off there up until the 4th grade. So I spent a lot of time with this man. And it's just sad that, it came to an end, but we were all there. The family was surrounding him as he went. It's just very unfortunate. And family comes before fishing. I'm fishing with my family. And so we decided not to finish the tournament, but we had better reasons. We wanted to be there in his last time, and I hate to see him go, but he was really loved, and everyone loved him. He was a character, a complete character.